in-depth analysis of the quarterback immediately after the game, but Khalil did throw 5 touchdown passes and made some really impressive plays out there. What did you see from him?
Yeah, I thought, he kept some plays alive. Obviously, we had some big plays that he created, either in the pocket or got outside of it and kept his eyes downfield and did some really nice things, with some explosive plays that really the first play of the game was he sat in there and just did first or second play and went through progressions and so he was still able to improvise a little bit and get the ball down the field. So it's to do all that and not have the ball really even tipped by the other team or really threaten an interception. I thought he managed the game well.
Did the return of Lath have the effect you expected?
Yes.
Okay.
I think what Lath brings is attitude and experience, and he's played a lot of football, and you got some guys there that I think it's been able to. What we're able to do was really just make 2 moves, the least amount of moves. Is move Donovan the right tackle where he's been playing tackle the whole time. Just he's used to being on the edge and exposed right there, but it's right tackle instead of left, and then really just moving a right tackle to left guard. So there's minimal movement. There's good practice, with that. We had to be careful with Donovan. Playing left tackle's hard. For the first 2 weeks, he got. That BYU team is pretty good. The pass rushing, and that was his first start. So, he's gotten better, and I think what you saw tonight was also gave us the opportunity to be effective in pass protection. We got a long ways to go. Don't get me wrong, but certainly that group was more solid tonight than they've been, and I think that the addition of Lath, you can't overlook that.
What impressed you the most about the defense tonight?
Well, I thought we played a lot of guys. It's a weird game in the fact that they were on the field the whole night, and I was just looking at the drive charts. I said I've never seen a drive chart like that. I think the longest time we had the ball was 2 minutes, and we didn't punt. So, that puts a lot of pressure on your defense. And as a coach, you're trying to, what do you want? Do you want to score? Do you not want to score? You want to slow it down? And, that puts your defense in a bad position because they played the whole night. I mean, I looked up and we had 20-some plays at halftime, 25 plays, and what we had ended up with 60 for the game. And with running the ball at the end, but they're on the field the whole night with a lot of different guys, and we still the things that our discussion in the locker room was about. Hey, look, let's enjoy this, but we got to come back tomorrow on Monday and just be honest with ourselves, just like we were last week. And what are our deficiencies? Where can we get better? What do we need to do? And there's the things that jump out to me is still third downs. So we talked Monday about last Monday the goals were explosive plays on offense. Talk about what we need to do for explosive plays, and those are not just bombs down the field. Those are also backside cutoff blocks and perimeter blocking to spring runway, and we did that tonight. I thought we did a lot better job of that and finishing blocks and getting line given time for. And Khalil by time, guys getting open. So it's not just the quarterback and the receiver, it's everybody, and eliminating those explosive plays defensively and making people earn down the field. We did better with that, I thought. But the big deal is, we got to get off the field on third down on defense. And, we got our first sack and we got our first turnover tonight. And Marcel was, it was still, trying to get things. I say you got to get one before you get any. So, tonight's a glass half full night. It might not be on Monday, but tonight it is.
What went through your mind when the defense got its first sack?
Huh? I was, Who was that, Pandy? Yeah, I thought so. I was just, it's a flow of the game. I don't think like that. It's like, oh my goodness, that's our first sack. And it's, it's not like that. Maybe it should be, I don't know. But, it's a negative yardage play, and I thought Pandy has made some big time, he's becoming more and more in that rotation, where Colin Schooler played almost every snap against BYU. And now he's in that rotation at linebacker, and he's been effective. He was effective tonight doing some things.
Talk a little about what it means to have your first win here at Arizona.
Yeah, it's anytime you win, it's always good, right? But your first win is something that you always remember things and what happens, and for us it's been we've been through a lot in the last couple of weeks, so you can take a deep breath right now and then it's back to work tomorrow, because we got conference play. So it's already, I'm sorry, we'll be back to work today. I am going to go home and not sleep here, but you just look around at football today. It's one thing that I'm not used to. There's two things I'm not used to. Is Monday Night Football at 5 o'clock. Right? And the guy walk out, it's like, what are they doing? Is that live? Yeah, that's part of it. And then I think I watched every in-between meetings about every football game there was, starting this morning. So it's a little bit different from that standpoint. But it's I wouldn't trade for anything. It's great.
What type of defensive adjustments did Coach Yates emphasize at halftime?
Well, we talked a little bit. It had to do with personnel also. I think you saw, if you closely, we were more of a 4-down front today than we have been. In previous weeks. We're missing a couple people. Obviously you saw some guys in boots and on scooters that we could use. And so the improvisation with personnel was getting the personnel out there was as big as anything. And then what those guys could do with our injury situation in front.
Would you say that the rotations on defense were more out of necessity or more part of a plan?
I would say both. I don't know if that makes sense. Just because of, we're not hiding anything. You saw we got a couple guys that one with a boot on, one on a scooter, that are starters, and then the other guys are guys who have in certain positions across the board on offense and defense have been some are battlefield promotions and some are promotions that are based on performance. So there's a little bit of both of those.
Scotty and Jace, I think, both started, but they both came out pretty.
Yeah,
quickly.
they're working their way back into it. You got Jace had struggled early through camp, and you just didn't want to push a lot of things with him. Scotty was the same. Scotty wasn't able to work out for the better part of 8 months, and so you can't just his workout, whatever he was doing, is a little bit different than the 4-day-a-week running and lifting in the summer and everything else. So we got to work those guys back in slowly, but they're coming along.
One more question for Coach? Okay.